Hello, readers, and thank you for joining me for lesson number 3 of VCCV Multisyllabic words. These are words that we're working with this week are all closed two-syllable words. Like I said, this is lesson 3, which means it's our very last lesson on these. But I do want to go ahead and go over this one more time before we change to another syllable type next time, which is coming up very soon. I'm excited about you learning about these. So we want to get started. There's some words I want you to know because you're going to hear your teacher or somebody else talk about these words, and I want to make sure you know what they mean. First is a vowel. A letter, a vowel, which you'll see labeled as a V on our videos. It's a letter and a voice speech sound. There are 5 vowels, A, E, I, O, U. I'm sure you know what those are. And of course, sometimes Y. A consonant, which we'll be calling a C, is a letter and speech sound that can be voiced or unvoiced, which means if you touch your throat when you make the sound, you either feel it vibrate, that means it's voiced, or you don't feel it vibrate, which means it's not voiced. Every letter that is in a vowel is a consonant. B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, Q, R, S, all those are all consonants. All right, a syllable is a unit with at least one vowel forming part of or a whole word. So a syllable is either a part or a whole word with one vowel, okay? So make sure you know that. A multisyllabic word is a word with more than one syllable. So it could have 2 syllables or 3 syllables, and it would be multisyllabic. Multi means many, syllabic means syllables, so many syllables. A closed syllable, we've been learning about already. It's a syllable with a short vowel. And an open syllable is a syllable with a long vowel. And we'll explain that, what those are right here. Now, as I take a little trip, we are going to go and look at what's the difference between an open syllable and a closed syllable. An open syllable ends with a vowel and makes a long vowel sound. Right here, we have the word hi. Hi is an open syllable because it doesn't have a consonant behind it. Then we have the word him. Him is a closed syllable. It does have a letter at the end, so it makes a short vowel sound. You might say it's protected, or maybe it's closed. Some people even say guarded at the end, but whatever you call it, that means it makes a short vowel sound. So open means there's no consonant behind it. Closed means there is a consonant behind it. Now, let's get on. We're going to practice breaking apart some VCCV words. That's vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel words. Now, there are steps in this process. If you learn the steps, you'll be able to do it automatically. Many of my students are already doing it automatically. I bet you can too, for the most part. We're going to start with this one. Step 1 is you label the vowels. And in this word, do you see any vowels? The O and the E. Now, I picked this word on purpose because for a lot of words, they don't start with the vowel. And a lot of my students were going straight to that second letter because they were used to it being the second letter. Now, I want you to know it's not always the second letter. So it could be the first, could be even the third. So we label the vowels. Next step is we build a bridge. And we're going to bridge just those 2 vowels. After we build a bridge, we have to put something on it. So we label the consonants with C's. So we have a B and a J. Now there are some consonants over here, a C and a T, but they're not on the bridge. So we don't have to label those. Next, because these are VCCV, we draw a line between the 2 consonants. So we're going to draw a line right here between the B and the J. Now, so this vowel has a vowel, has a consonant behind it, which means it's closed. This vowel has a consonant behind it. That means it's closed too. So they're both closed vowels, which means they make short vowel sounds. So we would have object, object. And that's how you'd read it, object. How is that? Next, I'm going to ask you some different ways because there's actually 3 different ways you see these VCC words. VCCV words, and I'm going to show all three in this video. Next is this one. It's a compound word. I know it. You might already know how to read it, but let's go ahead and go through the process anyway. What's step one? Label the vowels. So we have two O's there. We're going to label those with V's. If you want to write this down with me, just writing it down will help you remember the steps. The next step would be to build a bridge, and the bridge connects the two vowels. What's the next step? Label the consonants. And there's two consonants between the two vowels, the T and the D. Now, of course, after this, we're going to break it. Where do I draw the line? Between the two vowels, that's right. So we have a break here, and we can sound the word out now. Actually, we can't yet. Do we know what kind of syllables these are? Open or closed? Of course, they're both closed because after this vowel is a consonant, and after this vowel is a consonant. So I would call this hot, hot, dog, dog, hot dog, hot dog. You may have had a hot dog for lunch. That is a compound word, but it's also a multisyllabic word. It has two syllables. Next, another word. What's step one? Label the vowels. That's right. What's step two? Build a bridge. And what do I put on the bridge? All the consonants. Do you see any consonants there on the bridge? Two T's. That is correct. Now, I've done all that. Where do I do my break? Between the two consonants. If there's two consonants between it, we build the bridge there. Or we break it apart there. Now, we have to look at the two syllables. I have syllable one, syllable two. Are they open or closed? Behind this O, I see a T. Behind this O, I see an N. So they're both closed. What kind of vowel does short vowels, closed syllables make? Short vowels. K, t, cot, t, ton. That actually has more of a schwa sound. Cotton. Cotton. And the reason I want to show you this one is it's got a double consonant in the middle. If it's a double consonant, that's almost always a break at that point in time. All right, I have one more. Then we're going to do some silent blending after we review some sounds we've learned already. Again, what's step one? Label the vowels. And what are the vowels? The A and the O. That is correct. What do I do after I label the vowels? I build a bridge. And what do I put on the bridge? The consonants. What consonants are between the vowels? The N and the D. Now that I've got my vowels and consonants, where do I draw my split line? Between the two consonants, that's right. So I would draw it there between the N and the D. Now I need to figure out, are these closed syllables or open syllables? Look for the vowel. Is there something behind it? Look for this vowel. Is there something behind it? For both of them there is, so they're both closed. So I'm going to sound them out. R, an, ran, dumb, random, random. This isn't a random word. It's a word called random. All right, let's review some sounds we've already learned, and then we're going to do some silent blending, and we'll be done with this lesson. Say these with me. St, nt, ter, nk, ch. And we know ed makes three sounds. D, id, t, u, a, e, o, r, or. Now, are you ready for some silent blending? Remember, don't say the word until I have finished with it. And actually, I just realized I did not make my slide, so I'm just going to point and see if you can read the words for me. You ready? What would this word be? Himself. Next word. Sunfish. Our next word. Upset. Pigpen. Gossip. Mitten. Hiccup. Happen. Victim. Mascot. Napkin. Fabric. That was a little different, but how'd you do? I bet you did fantastic. Guys, thanks for joining me again today. Until next time, happy reading.